Welcome to Third Phase UFO Report. I'm Rich Giordano, and this is today's report. I've never done an episode like this since I've been making videos for Third Phase UFO Report. This is enormous. I think I've got 6 things here for you to look at. It's unbelievable. I am going to bring you to the moon, over the ocean, in someone's backyard. It's unbelievable. Here, I'll give you a little preview so you can see. We're going to start off with, well, we might not start with this one, but this flashing light is all the rage right now on the internet. Nobody knows what it is. It's unreal. We have this. When these objects, these white dots, they're hanging around chemtrails and they've been doing it for years. And then you want to buckle up for this sucker right here, flipping and turning and twisting. Never seen a disc do this before. And this is a classic Third Phase UFO Report. Phenomenal lights over the ocean, still unexplained to this day. And then we're going to bring you to the moon as well. So hold on tight. We're going to take you to the Third Phase of Moon Classic first, over the ocean.
Nothing in the sky at all. Then all of a sudden, bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is? We're in the middle of the ocean. On a ferry. Nothing around. Look. Nothing around. No land, no nothing.
William, he explains he was off the coast of North Carolina, off the Swan Quarters, and he was traveling on a ferry. A strange formation of lights. What are we looking at? Some kind of military exercise or something otherworldly? Right now, I want to get your guys' opinions as we roll over the evidence that has just come into Third Phase Moon. Brett, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's a great capture. I like the way William basically states they're in the middle of nowhere. What could have caused these formation of lights? They basically popped up out of nowhere. We've seen these kind of things happen before. Could this just be a regular exercise of military flares? But then again, I asked myself, what dropped them?
You're right, Brett. No indication of any kind of aviation dropping off these flares, if that's what indeed they are. And the remote location, you would see maybe some kind of ships, vessels on the ocean that are launching this. But at the moment, we don't see any indicators of where the origin of these lights actually came from. So the question is, what are they?
This is a classic. One of my favorite sightings, only because of how it was shot, where it was shot. I mean, you hear a guy excited because he knows it's really strange to see lights like this in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. And I think, if I recall correctly, they said they're on a ferry and that's off the coast of North Carolina, which would be the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, there are military bases, of course, all up and down the East Coast. It doesn't surprise me that we would think flares, but I don't see any airplanes in the vicinity that are dropping off flares or in the area. Usually you would see a flashing lights, but it's not. We're not really getting a steady look at the lights. This guy's looking all over trying to show us that there's nothing around, which makes me think that this might be flares. And this is something that the military would do in a desolate part of the ocean or the Gulf. But it is a classic. It's unreal. Nobody knows to this day what it is, and we'll never know, but pretty awesome, I think. All right, let's go to the next one. I think you're going to like this one. This is pretty good.
So as we look at this video a little closer, we're going to enhance it, get a little closer look. I'm just thinking to myself, if you're out in your backyard, your porch, and you're just hanging out at night and you're looking in the sky and you see this thing pop up, are you going to film it? Oh, heck yeah, you are. It's kind of cool because this light, after we're enhancing it, almost appears like that video we just showed you earlier to perform unusual characteristics. It's moving in interesting undulated motions, and it also blinks in and out. It fades, and then I like this part. It hides behind the tree, then it pops out and says, "Here I am," and then goes back behind the tree again. That's very cool. Is there some kind of a communication going on here? Brent, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, take a look at this. It kind of goes into this vortex dive to the ground. It's a good capture. You could kind of see these undulating lights, maybe a soft yellow, maybe even a spark of red. It's interesting. Look at this as it just kind of gently descends itself to the ground and hovers there for a second and then dips behind the tree and back. I like the way this is captured. It's being steady. We get a good picture off of this. I wish we had a closer vantage point of this object. And this peekaboo kind of thing it's interesting. We've heard this before from other eyewitnesses. What a great capture again. I got to say, I think this is a MUFON case. Take a look at this close up. It really gives us light, and it kind of has this disc shape kind of characteristic to it. It doesn't remind me of a drone of its flight capabilities.
All right. This is very odd. I thought a lot about this. In a minute or so, we're going to slow it down and zoom in a little bit. But for now, take a look at this, because the only thing I could think of, it's a kite. But I don't know. Why would a kite be flown at night? Looks like that. I mean, it has the characteristics of a kite. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know any drone that lights up like that, but maybe there is one, and it can flip upside down and be all aerobatic, I guess. Here, take a look at this. You can see that it looks like a disc at one point. It'll flip over and you can see that it's flat. Right there. I don't know. It almost reminds me of a leaf in the wind getting blown around, but we all know that's not this. And of course it's at night, so I doubt we would see any string tugging at it or strings. Maybe this is one of those large, I think I've seen this before, I'm not sure. I just thought of it as I was doing this review. But there are these one-winged, like just one single wing, that is the craft. And maybe that's what we're seeing, and there's lights on it, or maybe it lights up. I may have to come back and do this again, but for now, we're seeing something that's unidentified. The person who recorded it, obviously never seen anything like it. It's definitely a UFO. Is it man-made? Is it a government thing? I can't figure out why the government would have this in a public environment, in suburbia. You can see here it goes behind. We're back to normal speed, normal zoom, but it goes in and out. I want to see the video here. See, yeah, that's the thing. When it gets at a certain level or height in the sky, we don't see it come back up. So I'm wondering if this is a drone type of one-winged craft, like a stunt craft, Look at that. I mean, it's doing almost like loop-de-loos, going around going around and around, then it comes down. I'm gonna say that this is some sort of RC craft. Something inside of me tells me that. Boy, I don't want to say it, but man, this looks man-made to me. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. All right? There. I said it. I don't know. But if you know, put it in the comment. Let us know. Put it in the chat room and in the comment section after the video's over. All right, let's go to the next one. This one's really wild too.
If I had a better Phantom battery, I'd go up there and investigate it, but there it is. See, you can't see what it is. The camera can't even focus on it. I'm seriously zoomed in. As much as this phone will zoom in. Zooming out. What is that? I'm gonna hang out for a while and watch it. It might be kind of coming down a little bit. I don't know, it's so high, I can't even focus on it with my own eyes. It's just white. It looks like a inflated 13-gallon garbage can bag that's way up there. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So let's look at this a little closer. I'm adding some brightness contrast to make whatever this thing pops, but it's really cool when people are filming again. Yesterday, we showed you a video of a contrail, chemtrail, whatever you call it, and you have anomalous objects that appear next to them. And here we go again. The next day, we received this video coming in from a man. He calls himself Desert Jeff, and he captured this on the east of Green River, Utah. And again, we're watching this very closely. What is this luminescent orb of light? It's not an airplane. It's not a drone. It's way too high up there. Could it be some kind of weather balloon? I don't think so. It pretty much remains stationary in the sky. And at that altitude, you would think it'd be drifting. This is pretty good stuff right here. Usually we don't share single orb videos, but in this case, again, next to some kind of contrail, chemtrail, we're going to share it because the correlation is undeniable. There's something going on with these UFOs and these trails across America and the world. Brent?
Yeah, this is a good one just to showcase as a kind of a common thread throughout the community of people submitting these kind of UFO videos to us. We're going to take a close look at this one. We don't want a whole flood of these, but this one's interesting. You can see that it's kind of like puffy around the edges of the orb too. That's why I'm leaning for this not being a balloon. It's not sharp enough. It has this kind of like soft cotton ball kind of look. It's strange.
Absolutely, and the size of this craft, it's hard to tell, especially off at this distance.
For years, as long as I've been in this field, people have been recording these white dots around chemtrails, contrails, whatever you want to call them. The trails that hang around for half the day. You know, it's been rumored that they are UFOs hiding behind the trails or somehow manipulating them. It's very, very complex because we see them all the time, anytime there's trails. Not all the time, but pretty close to it. So then you would have to say, well, it's balloon. It's a balloon. That would be the only thing that would make sense. Or a drone nowadays, right? But when they're white and they're in the sky and they drift in the same direction as the trails do, you would have to say it's a balloon. But this one's a little, I don't know, interesting, I guess, because it really looked like it was just sitting there. a lot of times you don't see them just sitting there. So it makes this one stand out a little more. There's high contrast here. It is a little fuzzy around the edges, but I'm not sure if it's because the guy didn't focus in, or, that's as good as he can focus with this camera. But these have always disappointed me because you can never get detail out of them. And the last thing that I think of is balloon, after the first thing I think of is balloon. But it doesn't mean it is. Don't take my word for it. Go out there and look up yourself. But if you have an idea of what these are, we just learned that there are very small UFOs. Not just learned, but there's been these stories that have been popping up about these miniature UFOs going into people's homes through the walls and things like that. So I don't know if it's one of those, but let's just say this. There's a lot of high strangeness with UFO sightings. There's a lot of high strangeness with these trails. There's been history with UFOs and these trails. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go to the next one. It's only getting better from here on out. Let's go to the next.
Olha, agora ficou bastante embaixo. Você consegue filmar tanto tempo?
Isso aqui filma horas. Não, já tá aí uns 10 minutos.
Mas aí não dá pra ver quando cai embaixo, né?
Dá?
So we're getting a closer look at whatever this object is, darting from left to right, blinking in and out of existence, captured in Sao Paulo, Brazil. You could hear the family and even the canine, the dogs barking in the background, whining. Seems like the dog's sensing things. Look at this thing bouncing back and forth, static in one place and then in another, in a blink of an eye. What are we looking at? This is incredible footage, and I'm glad people across the country and the planet are sharing videos. This is pretty good stuff, Brent. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was blown away by that move right there. Did he see it? It just darted with extreme speeds. I've never seen anything like it on video. We've seen this in person, Blake and I, on the North Shore of Oahu when we're 10 years old, of this bright light that could move at the speed of light, as you could say. This thing was moving too fast to be conventional. What is this thing? Look at the immensity of light that's pulsating from this thing. Is it trying to give us some sort of message? You know, we're just letting it roll raw, looking at it a second time, enhanced a bit. We blew it up so we could get a better close look. You could see some kind of like red light indicating at the end of the blink, almost in a high density of a light. But it's cool because it seems like it's zooming away real fast and then comes back into frame, like it's going back and forth in a weird manner. This is define any kind of drone or aircraft that I'm aware of. Look at this thing. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, did you see it? It's just shooting back and forth. Guys, you got to share this video on your major social media. If you got any kind of following, friends, you got to share this now. I'm supplying the link right now in this live premiere. Brent, look at this thing. It's, again, remains in different places at about the same time. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I thought this was right in the beginning, watching this video, I thought it was just going to be a light just kind of blinking on and off. But man, the performance and the maneuvers, the meta propulsion behind this craft is outstanding. I'm going to ask one question. Could this be maybe somebody doing a reflection upon a mirror, creating this illusion? I'm not going to rule that out, but from what I'm seeing here, this seems to be the real deal. I like the people on the ground. You can hear their excitement. They're confused of what they're looking at. And the dog, again, dogs don't lie.
10 minutos.
I'm not ashamed to say that I believe this is my favorite sighting of the year. And the reason for that is it's really strange. I see a craft here that looks like it's Morse code, or it's flashing in a sequence that has a message hidden behind it, or it's just flashing for another reason I can't think of. Is it powering up, or is it getting ready to do something? Is it spinning? Is it high energy? Is it filled with mercury and it's spinning around so fast it's just starting to power up? And then you start to see big flashes and it looks like it's replicating itself and shooting other objects out of it. Well, it is. These objects are shooting out of this object and going behind that ridge or whatever that black area is. I'd like to see what the daytime of this area looks like. This is one of those sightings that I think is a military / UFO. Look at that. That is unreal. And they looked like they were flashing at the same exact time. So when that one craft was released out of it, it too flashed in sequence with the craft that just stays in that spot. It looks like it's going to do it again. See what happens here. Now it's starting to get bigger. It looks like brighter. Not bigger, but brighter. It looks very tiny. It looks really pinpoint tiny. And then it gets very bright, which makes it look bigger. I wonder if that's in space. Watch, watch. Here we go. This is so weird. It's gonna start shooting it out a couple of times, I think. If you have any idea what this is, put your comment in the chat room. Definitely put it in the comment section. Watch. Okay, so they don't, that time it didn't look like they were flashing in sequence as if they were connected that way. Here it's going to do it again, I believe. See, this is the stuff I expected to see when the people in the mainstream media were talking. This is what I thought I would see. Stuff like this. Stuff that really doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand this, but it's phenomenal. Wow. It really, wow. It's like watching a thunderstorm. It's so unpredictably bright. I don't know. There's something about this that just intrigues me. Could it be a reflection in a window? I really don't know. Guys, if you know, let me know in the comment section. Let's get to the moon.
What's going to happen? Something wonderful. I understand how you feel. You see, it's all very clear to me now. The whole thing.
You're going to see something shoots out very quickly. And could it be coming from the lunar surface? We're watching this video and we wanted to show it to you in different positions so you can get a close look. Do you see this? There it is. We're going to get a closer look and play it one more time. And if you could see this object shooting off the lunar surface, it appears to be something that shouldn't be there. And it was captured by an amateur astronomer. We get a lot of videos and photos by amateur astronomers all over the world. And let me tell you, without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you some of these incredible images. We've got a lot of evidence coming up, but I want to get Brent's opinion. What do you make of this?
Yeah, this is great and compelling footage. You can see that this is actually, in my opinion, coming from the surface of the moon. If you look closely, when you see this thing eject from that kind of hot spot there, it doesn't come in from anywhere else but that position.
Yeah, you can see by the video that it isn't streaking from right to left. It's actually coming out, appearing right from the crater of the lunar surface itself. Or could this be some kind of optical illusion? We're going to let you decide exactly what you think's going on in the video, but we think this is compelling evidence, and the mystery continues.
All right, so we know NASA, never a straight answer, right? I'm pretty sure that what we're going to see here is legitimate. And you're going to see a UFO come out of the moon. Watch. That came out of the moon. Or, because I don't see it coming from another, like before that point of where it originates. I don't see it leading up to that point. It comes out of that white area of the moon. This is wild. Look, there's been flashes on the moon that we have never seen anything like it. We're going back to the moon. China was just up on the moon earlier in the year. Something might be happening on the moon, and I think it's extraterrestrial. We don't have anything like that we know of. Are we looking at SSP? Might be. Oh wait, now we got one more. Check this out. This is unreal.
Unless there's some kind of civilization from long ago that possibly could have built these megastructures that we're looking at right now. Is there some kind of ancient civilization captured within these photos?
Yeah, I was listening to Linda Moulton Howe recently, and she said that the moon is actually a living machine. Could it be?
Yeah, some people are speculating that the moon could be even hollow, that it rings like a bell. A lot of speculation out there. We're giving you the evidence. We're showing you photographs. We're leaving it up to you to decide. You should share this video with your friends. Get their opinions.
Well, it doesn't get much better than this, does it? A pyramid on the moon that looks like a pyramid on the moon. Look at that thing. I mean, I could just stare at that thing for hours and just keep telling myself, that's a pyramid, that's a pyramid. It's wild stuff. It's the moon. I thought I would add these moon classics in here for you because why not? History makes us smarter. My goodness, what an episode. Thank you all very much. Let's get in our flying cars and let's go for a ride because we're getting out of here. Everybody grab a vehicle and let's get back to home because this has been a Third Phase UFO report. I'm Rich Giordano. Whose is that? And I'm taking you back home. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. You can check me out on GUFON every day of the week between 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. This has been Third Phase UFO Report.